Fellowship was what up? Welcome back to the Fellowship Hall with the Twins and Ralph. I'm Ralph, and I'm back with my fellas. Twin number one, Keith, and twin number two, Ken. Ken, holla at the people.
What up, fellowship? It's your boy Ken, aka the Moral Compass, because I'm the one keeping this show on the straight and narrow. Go ahead, Keith.
Maybe you get that comment on the straight and narrow. What's up, fellas? This is
Straight
your
and
boy.
narrow.
What's up, Fellowship Hall? This is your boy, Keetrick, the moderator. You know me. I know you. Let's go ahead and jump into it. We are doing Raising Kanan, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 1, Episode 2. We're not going to prolong the hour. Big Ham, go ahead and let us know what you thought about this week's episode.
Man, I'm really enjoying the show, man. I'm enjoying the show better than I thought I would. I told y'all when it first came out, the power spinoff I was looking forward to was my boy Reek, my boy Tommy, and that was it. I was really looking forward to going back in time, but I'm kind of digging it, man. But more than anything, man, like I said last week, I want to get through this season because I want to see where Kanan and Ghost and Tommy hooked up as youngsters. That's kind of what I want to get through. So I'm trying to speed past this, but I did enjoy this episode, man. But man, the game is ruthless, man.
It is. Oh, of course.
It's a ruthless game, man. And I just hated that they had to do D like that, man. And Kanan don't want it to go down like that. I just hated it had to be done, But, man, if D wasn't there, he wasn't there. And what made me feel a little better about it was D the one that told Kanan.
Yep.
Hey, man, I saw Buck on one of your corners.
Yeah,
he started it.
That's what make it feel better, but I hated that, man. I hated it. And and it was some G Money type stuff, man. It was some G Money type stuff, but man, it hurt Lou to have to do it, man. But he was a soldier, man. It hurt me for him to have to do it. So that kind of just brought me down. That was a bummer. But man, that's what happens, man. That's what happens in the game. So that's what happened. But other than that, man, everything else was good. It was really entertaining. You can kind of see Kanan already kind of coming into his own and being Kanan. So we're starting to see that. Even though it's just when the finished product, it's still kind of hard to wrap your mind around him having fear. And even Rock telling him, that fear is what's going to keep you alive. Use that. You need to be fearful. But man, when you think about Kanan. You think about Kanan, and for some reason, his name was Kanan Stark. Kanan. When you think about Kanan Stark from the original Power, man, you just it wasn't no way that Joker was scared of anything, man. So it's kind of cool to see him kind of start to turn into that savage.
Humanize a little bit.
I still feel like it's a huge gap that we got to go to in order to get to the savagery that we saw as Kanan. But
right,
man, I'm enjoying the series, man. Writing wise, I don't really have a whole lot of qualms right now, man. Man, but I'll talk about this one when we get to Got to Go, man. Okay, but Ken, I have to say, man, you were right, and I'll tell you what you were right about later.
Usually, okay.
Go ahead, Ken. What you think about it?
Now, honestly, I thought it was a solid episode. Then a whole lot happened. I think the getting rid of D was kind of the biggest thing, the biggest drama of the whole episode. And I didn't get the whole Reggie Jackson and home run analogy for killing him. It still doesn't make sense to me, or maybe it's just part of their code name for everything, their language they have for doing certain things. But that didn't make sense to me. But Lulu and Rock didn't really want to do it, but they, it's our family or his best friend or not even his best friend, his buddy, and they chose the buddy, which was the obvious decision.
Man. Basically, his crew, one of his crew members.
Yeah, the only thing that didn't sit well with me is Lou didn't want to do it, but he had to do it. But why not just go ahead and do it from behind or something like this, so the boy didn't have to see you about to kill him? That was the only thing that makes sense to me. If it hurt him so bad, why wait till you look at him to pull the trigger instead of going ahead and doing it from the side?
Look him in the eyes, man.
I guess, but I don't know. That was a little bit different for me, because you could see, unless he wanted him to see the pain in his own eyes when he did it. Maybe that's the only thing about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't get why Jukebox getting off the bus and seeing it seemed like she almost immediately knew what was about to happen, which I don't know why she should have known that soon, or that, in that instant. But I guess maybe Jukebox is super perceptive. But like when she saw him getting in the car with Lou, you could sense her sadness, or her worrying that something was going on.
Yeah, I think she just felt uneasy about it, man, because it was like, why is this happening? It's no reason for him to be getting in the car with Lulu without Kanan around. I think she just, like you said, perceptive, and she was like, okay, this is going to be the trade off. They're going
Mm.
to get rid of this guy who I've been knowing my life or whatever. Notice she didn't
Maybe.
Jukebox,
say anything though.
Jukebox been it just like Kanan. He born into it too, and but she been a little more perceptive about the games, so
Yep.
she knew what was coming.
Maybe. And then the only other thing I got is the club, man. The club is not really jiving for me. I don't understand, the club promoter lady or
Tony,
whatever, and what.
Tony,
Yeah, and then Melvin being there, and all of a sudden she his
Marvin,
lady and all that stuff. And
Marvin.
so Marvin, my bad. Marvin, she being his lady and stuff. So I don't know. The club is not really jiving for me with the show. It's not really making any sense. It doesn't fit. I mean, obviously, Rock is messing with the symphony dude, but the club just was a way for her to see him.
I thought she said a lot of cocaine out there.
She do.
I think she does, man, but it's
Yeah,
still
remember they
not
said that
showing
in
a
the first
purpose.
show, the white lady was criticizing. What's her name? The white lady name. I
Tony,
don't want to keep calling the white lady.
Tony,
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 Tony.
Tony. Yeah, Tony kept criticizing.
the product.
The
Yeah,
product.
Hmm.
I know, I understand that, but it's still not really fitting to me. It's off. And then when they pan to it, it ain't like they pan to it seeing people sell the cocaine or anything. It's normally some kind of interaction just between the people or her and the bartender. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it doesn't fit, and that's the way it is for me so far.
The only way I think it fit twin is because you heard Marvin and Rock talking earlier about uh, Lou and Rock talking earlier about trying to find another front. Remember when
Yep,
they went to
the
they
Colombians.
went to the
The bodega.
Yeah, the
yeah, the
Colombians
bodega
bodega.
trying to find a front. So that's kind of why I fit because I guess as you can see the way the club not really popping like that. I guess the club is not being a good enough front for
Hmm.
them. So
They gotta have
um,
more money.
I guess you kind of perceive that, but I think a club is going to just end up being the front. I mean, it worked for Ghost in the original Power.
True.
So
Tommy's
but
idea.
so I think that's kind of how it was Tommy's idea,
Hmm.
and then our boy Dre kind of took it to the next level. But yeah, so I think that's kind of how it fits there. But I think they're very perceptive of you to see that it's kind of dead in the club though. I didn't even think about that till you said it.
What, being dead in there?
Yeah, where
Yeah.
he just said he felt like it wasn't nothing really just popping in the club, just
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. So I
Right.
think it kind of makes sense when you tie into they're looking for another front as well.
Hmm. I feel like the good good comments about both of you. I feel like the club is more so to bring symphony into it, and then also this Tony girl for whatever reason. I don't understand how Marvin is all of a sudden is her she's his lady or whatever, but nevertheless it is what it is. I thought it was a good episode. I thought you guys hit the high points. I think the jukebox seeing the whole thing with D getting in the car was good writing. Honestly, I feel like that it's showing how tough jukebox is and smart. She knows the game, like Ralph said. She almost. Oh, actually, I feel like she's smarter than Kanan, and maybe that's what they showed on the original Power. She was smarter than Kanan,
Mm-hmm.
so she was perceptive. Maybe it hurt her, but she knows some things got to get done, and family first. Kanan said that she was one of the most important people in his life, and I feel like that she probably figured, hey, they got to have a body to get back from whatever dude name was
Unique,
Buck something.
Unique.
No, but
unique.
unique. But who did they get rid of?
Oh, yeah, they got rid of Buck 20.
Buck
Buck
20.
20. So she felt like they had to trade off for Buck 20, and it wasn't gonna be Kanan, even though they tried to hit him at least once already. She knew it wasn't gonna be Kanan, so she probably put two and two together and said it's gonna be D, and that's sad. So I hated that too, obviously, because it's a young kid, and you see that. I mean, it's reality, it's writing, but it's reality. But at the same time, as bad as I hated for Lulu to have to do him like that, I mean, I was kind of happy that Lulu tried to give him a good night.
Yeah.
He did some stuff that was kind of good writing. It was him kind of giving him a send off. Even though he knew what he was gonna do to him, he sent him off, let him become a man or whatever he had or whatever. And it was just it still was sad though, because the guy was talking to him and then he did that to him. I kind of felt like that was gonna happen. One thing I know I hate it, which again, the writing is still doing pretty good. Last week's writing I thought was okay. I think this week's writing took it to a better level, in my opinion. I think that Rock telling Kanan that she was gonna take care of D wasn't like a good thing for me. I feel like that's gonna cause some animosity between her and Kanan, especially because I feel like Jukebox is gonna tell him what happened, and then that's gonna cause some conflict between Rock because she blatantly said we nothing's gonna happen to him or something like that. We're gonna take care of him or something like that. But it is what it is. I knew that she was setting them up when she said, "Why don't you invite D over?" Just called him out by name, and we got this movie. So I knew it was a setup. And then when Lulu pulled up, I was like, "It's over for D." It is what it is. I thought it was a good episode. I don't know if I care for the Kanan being in the stash house, and dude kind of telling them, "Hey, I'm here babysitting you," but at the same time, Kanan should have figured that out. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I thought it was a good episode though.
One thing real quick before we go to the next segment is when Lulu and Rock were looking at each other when they were talking to D, and he was talking about his brother being back from
Oh yeah,
upstate and the
I thought they were gonna
mom,
frame him.
I thought it just seemed like they was pointing to framing him instead of doing it to D. Think about it. D is their son's or her son's friend.
Hmm.
Her sending her son to be with Kanan meant that the house would have at least maybe just the mama would have been there, or at least D wouldn't have been there to ID them or anything like that. So I was like, okay, so are they just gonna go ahead and take out the brother because he was
Hmm.
just upstate? The guns were his guns, so it was
Hmm.
like, okay, maybe they're gonna do that, which would have made more sense to me, or at least it would have kept Kanan's crew or feelings more intact. So it was a little bit of a
Hold on,
throw off.
Ralph. Hold on, Ralph. I feel like that would have been fairy tale writing though, Kendrick. So I'm glad they
Yeah,
didn't do
that's
it
what I was
like
gonna
that.
say. I
Hmm.
would say it would have been less real and fairy tale writing because evidently they killed Buck 20 in broad daylight,
Yeah.
and and Buck 20 went out there by itself, so the rest of the crew saw who it was.
That's
So
true.
the rest of the crew know it was either Kanan and D.
Mm.
So it had to be one of them.
Yeah.
Even though it hurt us, it had to go down like that. It's
It
all in
is
the
what it
game,
is.
man. It had to be
That's
one
still
of
good
them.
writing. It was good
Yeah,
writing. They
and,
was
and
You're
trying
but
to
right.
throw the
but
view off.
but what I
And
was
you know
saying
what?
was
I
they
got
were
to
kind
give
of
Power credit because so many times they have cut the corners and
Yeah.
did stuff like that to
That's
save
true.
a character or
true,
to create a narrative or create a way or create a shortcut. And
right?
this time they didn't. So we got to give them credit for it.
But what I was saying is that they kind of threw us off the scent because they were kind of leading us to believe that that was a possibility, and that
But I
was the
think they
thing I
did it
was
on
talking about.
purpose. Yeah,
They
that's what I'm
they
saying. They
probably
did it on
did,
purpose.
but yeah,
Yeah. Okay, fellas, siblings, let us know what you think about our comments. This, like we said, this was a pretty good episode this week. Hopefully it can just keep building up. Like Big Ham said, this wasn't one of my anticipated series. I was thinking about the Kanan, not the Kanan one, but the Tommy one and the Reek one even because I felt like the Reek one was still kind of pulling in old James, but this is turning out to be a pretty good episode. I didn't know how it was going to be a series. Sorry, I didn't know how it was going to be with like going back to the past or whatever. But so far so good. Aside from like Big Ham said, I'm expecting Kanan to be just a savage already, and they like humanize him a little bit.
Yeah,
Honestly, I feel like the way Kanan is or was on the original Power, he should have never met his parents or he should have never felt any love. You know what I mean? And it's clear that his mom loves him, which is fine, and that's what you all want. But the type of person that we know Kanan to be, it just seems like he could have never come from this type of environment.
right.
Yep. All right, fellowship, but you know what time it is. It's time for our favorite segment, or Big Ham's favorite segment in a way. It's the Gots to Go segment. And this is where we pick some characters from the show that need to be, as Big Ham said, brutally murdered. So without further ado, we're going to let Big Ham kick it off and let us know who his first of three Gots to Go people are.
My number one, got to go. is a guy that Kendrick said last week, and we kind of both kind of like, come on, Ken. But man, he was right. Marvin got to go, bro.
Marvin messing up.
Marvin
He
messing up.
got to go. Them type of kind of dudes like him are the dudes who get your organization caught up in the RICO trial.
The weak
Everybody go
link.
to jail or get everybody shot and killed, man.
The
He
weak
just
link.
too loud, obnoxious. And you know what? I was talking to one of my homeboys, and he was like, "Man, what's your problem with this particular person?" And I said, "My problem with this person is that that person is always loud and wrong,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and this that irritates me tremendously. I can't stand people that's loud and wrong. Like you can be wrong, but like you can be wrong, but be confused and wrong. Don't be loud and wrong until you run into your wrong. And that's what he is. He's just loud and wrong, and all he gonna do is just continue to cause problems and create mess for the organization. So they did what they had to do to get rid of D. At some point in time, they gonna have to do what they got to do and get Marvin up out of here. Number one,
Ouch.
got to go.
Go ahead, Ken.
Ouch. And mine is still a repeat. Unique, man. We still need to get rid of
Mm-hmm.
Unique. He
Yeah.
he he's still a rival. He the one that's saying they got the streets need a body. I didn't call my crew off, but the streets need a body, and that streets need a body line is what got D killed.
Yeah.
Unique got to get out of there.
I agree with Ken. Unique is on my guys to go list. I mean, unique is the conflict, but again, currently, and if you are a fan of this podcast, you know this is something that I say, Ralph says, and Ken says. Unique is in complete opposition of our criminal
Criminal
protagonist right now,
protagonist.
and it's got to be unique. I mean, maybe Big Ham is gonna say him later, and if he doesn't, I still feel like that unique is somewhere on our mind, but unique is on my guys to go list. All right, Ken, we're gonna flip it back to you.
My number two is again a repeat from last week, Officer Howard, because
Hmm.
Officer Howard is working directly with Unique. Officer
Yeah,
Howard has already said it's only going to be one kingpin in this city, and I'm putting my money on you. So he's obviously in Unique's back pocket. So Officer Howard needs to go. Plus, I'm just not feeling his character as a police officer,
I'm
honestly.
not. I'm
But
not.
that is what it is. I'm not gonna attack his acting credibility like Big Ham did last week. But Officer Howard needs to get up out of here. I'm done with him.
Yeah.
Big Ham, go ahead with your number two.
Hey man, you wrong, man. I told you was right about Marvin. You could have went ahead and said I was right about somebody else, bro. Couldn't did it, man. You couldn't do it. The power will let you do it. But my number two got to go. Officer Howard, man. He got to go.
Yep.
You know, he already was in direct opposition to our criminal protagonist, but now he double opt up. Now
Yep.
Yep.
now he's op
Working.
squared because not only is he in opposition with him being in the law, he's now in opposition because he's linked with Unique.
Yep.
And so in my opinion, he's more dangerous than Unique. So my
Hmm.
number two got to go is Officer Howard, and I still stand on what I said about the
Oh
rated
my else.
place of Omar Epps, man.
Whatever. All right. I reluctantly, just kidding. I'm going to make this unanimous. My number two person that got to go is clearly Officer Howard. Like Officer Howard, like you said, Big Ham has jumped unique for me as got to go. Now clearly he's probably not going anywhere because he got to push the story forward. But he is working with Unique. He's telling Unique, hey, I know you in the game. The worst thing that happened to us was her taking power when whatever dude left. It's Officer Howard. Fellowshippers, Officer
Hop
Howard
Epps.
is on your list. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my number three, and you guys may get some. I might get some hate for this one, but my number three got to go is Rock, man. Rock got to go, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. For this episode, Rock got to go for lying to Kanan. Okay, she lied to Kanan, so I thought that was wrong. And she had Lulu kill the boy. Now she trying to save her son, I know that, but her son's a big boy, and she in the game too. Next, in order for Kanan to become the savage that he is, he gotta have some kind of loss that numbs him to the world, and it's probably gotta be Rock. We know it wasn't Jukebox. It could be the girl that he's trying to mess with, but it's got to be Rock. Rock right now is his blanket. Rock is his cloud of protection. Rock, I like her, but she got to go to turn Kanan into the savage that we know he is. Plus the stuff she did on this episode, I thought it was kind of jacked up. a necessary jack up. Don't get me wrong, but I think she kind of got to go for me. Big Ham, you want to go next?
Yeah, man. So logically, my number three got to go should be unique, but it's not because man, for some reason I like the man. I know he's a direct opposition to my critical protagonist, but I like him. But my
Mm-hmm.
number three got to go is Rock.
Yep.
Wow.
It's Rock, man. It just don't sit well with me. She got her son best friend killed while she gets smashed.
Mm-hmm.
She gets smashed. She roll over, answer the phone, and it's done. I
It's
mean,
done.
and that bothered me, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that bothered me, man. But another thing is, I feel like when we watched the original Power, Tommy and Ghost organization always felt tight. You know,
Yeah.
there was a couple of times where some chaos going, and
Usually
throughout the
Tommy.
first two episodes, yeah,
Usually Tommy.
throughout these first two episodes, I just feel like the organization is not being run well. Yeah, I feel like it's like the organization not being run well. Old boy that got over on her. First, she gave him three corners. Now he got the whole 140s
Yep.
on top of half of her crew didn't know what was popping. So they went and got them in deeper mess and made her lose the 140s. And now she having to kill her son's best friend to kind of even this thing out. So she's
Yep.
been relenting and she's been walking back this whole season. So
Yep.
now she's gonna have to get to a point where she's standing up on it and strengthening her organization. I feel like the organization has just been taking losses.
Hey, I'm 100% with you, Big Ham. This show is called Power, but every episode she's giving a little bit away.
Who's got the power right now? Unique
Mm-hmm.
got the power.
Unique got the power,
And it's
especially
because
with
of Rock, the way
Officer
Rocky ran
Howard.
her organization.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man, honestly, guys, I think Rock is the smartest one on the show right now, and everything she's done it's been to try to keep peace and save her son. So I don't know. I hear you guys, but I don't know if Rock is I mean, if y'all want her gone, that's fine. But I'm just saying, I feel that she is still the smartest one on the show, and like
Mm.
Kanan is the one that's made the mistakes that she's got to clean up. So and Marvin is making mistakes that she'll probably have to clean up. So I think right now the show needs her because she's the one that's kind of holding it down, really.
All right, go ahead and close out with your guess to go. Your last
Yep, it's
one.
gonna be unorthodox. My Gots to Go happened the first time on this season, and I've had enough. Jukebox is singing. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary in this
Oh,
episode.
bro.
I don't know if she ended up singing because she think D about to die or what, but it was just like I'm like, what? Why is Jukebox singing? I don't. Jukebox was supposed to have this beautiful voice. I mean, I know she sung in the chorus on the first episode, blah, whatever.
Part of
And
her
but
story.
in Power though, she never sang, right?
I don't remember.
She was
Never
down, but she was
sang.
around long.
Never sang. Listen. Jukebox is singing absolutely did nothing for this episode for me and took away from the episode for me. Jukebox is
Hey,
singing got to go.
Ken, I'm not mad at that. I'll be honest with you. If it wasn't for Jukebox's perceptiveness that she saw Lulu picking up D, Lulu, not Lulu, but Rock and Jukebox was fighting for me for my third one, but I had to go ahead and give it to Rock. And and
Hey,
and and Jukebox is singing almost saved Rock.
Yeah.
all right. So look, the reason why jukebox singing don't take away from me is because number one, she was singing because she knew D was getting off.
Mm,
So
So
at that point, cause she saw him get in the car, and we both said she perceptive that was going on. She was singing out of sorrow. That's number one. Number two, of course, that had to be how why she got named jukebox.
wait, say that
that's a
again.
good point. That had to be the reason why she got the name
That's why she got a
Jukebox.
nickname.
It is. It is why she got her
Yeah.
nickname,
Because
So
she's
but
always
I
singing.
mean, you probably will get used to that, bro.
man,
Are
Her
Ghost
y'all
singing
still
ain't
nickname
going
is
nowhere.
Ghost. We don't see that joker floating around going through walls or anything. No, Jukebox singing don't need to happen, man.
Are y'all sure she wasn't singing because she had just had a entanglement with the girl?
Could have been.
That's what I was thinking.
I
Because she was
thought
in the
because
bathroom.
I thought because she saw D get in that car
I
and
think it was
she
because of
knew
D.
time was winding up, and she
Hmm.
went in there and she was singing with sorrow in her heart. Cause dude was her
Man.
friend too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Hey, I'll tell you an honorable mention. Their third
famous,
friend, famous.
famous. Yeah,
I
I'm
think
tired of
Lulu
him.
gonna have to get rid of him.
Cause my sister, we don't see each other. Don't y'all live
Hmm.
together?
Hmm.
We should be
She
studying.
don't. She don't be eating cereal. Man,
She don't
just
like
tell him what I
cereal.
said. I actually like Lulu for putting them in his place. Like, dude, just say okay and then don't tell her.
Yeah,
Like, why
say
you
okay and don't
like
do it. Why are you trying to make an excuse to this
exactly,
dude?
exactly.
Oh man, Kane, the whole crew about to get off.
Except Jukebox.
Except
Only thing
Kanan.
saving her that she family.
Exactly,
That
and
is
then they gonna
say in
save in
the
the
end.
long run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
long run, it did save her.
All right, Big Ham, go ahead and close us out. We enjoyed this show today. It was a good show. I'm enjoying this series. I'm looking forward to what's next. Big Ham,
Yep.
close us out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for coming to the Fellowship Hall with the Twins and Ralph. We appreciate y'all checking out this review of Raising Kanan, Power Book 3.
Yep.
We're going to continue reviewing this all the way through the season end, so make sure you come through and watch with us. You can follow us on Facebook at the Fellowship Hall. Subscribe to our YouTube page where you're watching it now, the Fellowship Hall. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Raphael Hammond. Hopefully the Twins will go ahead and join social media. Y'all can follow them as well. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at HellDog22. Hey, we'll be back next week with a review of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Until then, fellowshippers, be blessed.
Be blessed,
Be blessed,
fellowship.
fellowship.